All right. So this is the Bluesbreaker, the most notable of the series. And this became very, very famous. In 2006, John Mayer released Continuum, which is, you know, if you put John in the camp of Guitar Hero, which he undoubtedly is, whether you like him or not, this pedal was launched into the stratosphere of collectability and pricing for sure when John was seen using it in the Continuum rigs. I remember seeing a show called Abbey Road Sessions at Abbey Road. I think it was an HBO thing, or if you know, drop that in the comments. Yeah, I can't remember the name, but there's this scene where they're in there and it's a lot of B-roll of them setting up, and John's standing and he yells over to Renee, the tech, and he says, "Turn my Bluesbreaker up." And it was at that moment that I realized he was using a Bluesbreaker. I'd used one for a long time, and this pedal would lead to me making a Morning Glory. That's my most popular and famous pedal, for sure. And then I think before the John Mayer moment, the Analog Man King of Tone helped push it, kind of like a pre-push before John Mayer. The King of Tone is based on this pedal as well. And it's really straightforward. You have volume, tone, and gain. And I'll talk about the history of these in just a second, but just breaking this pedal down, it really shines as an always on. I'm going to play some bypass tone here. I'm having my sound card, it just loves to clip sometimes. And I need to devise a pedal that's anti-sound card clipping. That'd be the best pedal name ever. But let me play some clean here. I'm in the Kemper, and I'm on a MiG 50 profile. If you're curious about these profiles, we have them for this and the Helix system. There's a link in the Joshua will put the link down there. I don't think I got to that. But yeah, let's look at the pedal, and here's the clean tone. That's just my amp tone. That's the MiG 50 with a little bit of verb. Now I'll activate the pedal. See, where this pedal shines is just leaving it on. It doesn't have a ton of volume on tap. So in this case, you might end up maxing the pedal, but it's an amazing low gain, true to the phrase transparent drive. So I'll play a little bit for you, and I'll just leave it at that setting. Here we go. Now another thing this pedal excels at is being stacked. So I'm going to give this a pedal away at the end of the stream. This is brand new in the box. There's the box. See the box? Did you see it? You'll have the box. So I'm going to kind of push into this and let you hear. It's really great. So fantastic pedal all around, and really the reason these pedals, I think for the most part, in popular boutique era into now, are very known. There's one other pedal in the series that I'll get to when we talk about this line historically, but these are super cool. So I started out of order, but this series of pedals, if we look at the website here, this series of pedals is basically 4 pedals, and 2 of them are extremely similar. So looking, you kind of have this Gov'nor on the left, and I'm going to play through all of these, but the Gov'nor on the left came out 88 or 89. There's some heated debate there, but I want to say 89. They say 88, and so I trust Marshall. They have pretty good archival. The Shredmaster, the Drivemaster, and the Bluesbreaker. So that's kind of your series of pedals. This is just simply off their site. So you can go prowl around and look at these. But you know, if we look at the Bluesbreaker, there's some good videos here. So I'm not going to waste a ton of time just going through this, you know, unnecessarily. So looking at the next pedals, let's take a second here and pull out just a few of these. So we have, that's the Gov'nor. I think I'll jump straight to this. So we've heard the Bluesbreaker. 2006, John Mayer, you know, makes this thing big. And then we have the Gov'nor, which is actually before any of this. I would say the unique things about this pedal is that it's possibly the first pedal ever with LED clipping. The Turbo Rat is 89, and that's why it matters if this is 88 or 89. If you're a nerd and you care about that, you know, the historical element of what came first, this is a really cool piece of history. It has an effects loop where you can put in a TRS cable, and then when you turn this on, it'll activate whatever's in the loop. So you could have a entire lead sound activated with the one switch. You could have a delay and a reverb or a fuzz pedal in here and hit it and do that. So let's switch it out. I'm going to put the overdrive preamp. I'll just use it today for stacking. Also, I'm going to make noise. You know, they tell you not to do this. Like, do it live, it'll hurt your amp. But, you know, I'm playing a Kemper, so. Let's see here. So, let's say 1988. Let's give Marshall the benefit of my doubt. And let's play this pedal. The Marshall Gov'nor is named after Jim Marshall. They called him Gov'nor, and it was kind of a tribute to his name, his legacy, I guess you could say. So here it is, and it has gain, bass, middle, treble, and level. So this pedal is incredibly versatile, first of all. It does way more than you think it would do, and being the first pedal they ever did, it was kind of the experiment. If you notice, it doesn't share the aesthetic exactly with something like the Bluesbreaker. These lines are not present. The Marshall logo is embossed here. So they're quite different. I also want to say that there is an episode I filmed about a year ago. It's called Marshall's Greatest Pedals. And there's also an article called Marshall's Greatest Pedals. So if you go to Google, type in Marshall's Greatest Pedals and then put JHS, you'll probably see an article. We have an entire section of our website, which is, we do the historical articles on the biographies that I film episodes of. So that's there. But I won't get into any big, huge things here other than these are designed by Steve Greenrod. And if you're on a computer right now, or if you've ever seen the original boxes to these, I don't have one here, they're at the shop. There's a foot clicking the pedal. That is Steve's actual foot, which is just a cool factoid. And these reissues are assembled in England. So that's super cool as well. I'm going to put the Strat away and play this guitar. Let's see here. I don't know if you heard it earlier, but I basically dropped this guitar on the floor. It was really great. It went smack. All right, bypass tone. Let's check it out here. I'm going to mute my mic and kind of go through the settings of bypass and on. You could, in a lot of ways, think of this as one of the first amps in a box, because this is essentially Marshall saying, we're going to experiment with this pedal and see if people like it. And it's a Marshall in a box, you know, it's a JCM 800 in a box. It's that's what they're doing here. So it's really versatile. I'm going to go low gain to high gain for you. I saw in the comments, someone mentioned Gary Moore. He's not only known for using a Bad Monkey, way before the episode did what it did, he used a Marshall Gov'nor. And so, yeah, you are very, very correct. So as a Marshall sound, it's pretty darn hard to beat this. And then you see pedals coming later in the boutique era that use this topology. I use this topology for the Angry Charlies and Andy Timmons variants that I've made over the years. You have tons of people have built off of this, which strangely enough, the circuit is not that crazy different from the Bluesbreaker. It's a very kind of similar structure, but anyway. Oh, I didn't plug into the input all the way. I'm good at doing that. Ah, there you go. Play a little bit more with some drums. Did it bother anyone else that my guitar was like this much out of tune? Let me fix that. That's pretty good for slamming the guitar on the floor. But back to the pedal. These are hard to beat. I'm looking in the comments, people saying it's thin. It is not really thin at all. It's kind of, there's this thing with electric guitar where it's like, people think you need a bunch of bass, but when you're actually playing with a band, your bass gets cut out. You know, if you're in the studio, you don't want a bunch of bass. So I think this pedal, the EQ dynamic of it is really, really wonderful. And yeah, you can say it's thin, or you can just say it's pre-mastered. I need a shirt that says I'm pre-mastered. This guitar held up pretty well. If you don't know about this guitar, I've shown it on other Basement Lives. Drew it on a napkin and a guy made it for me. In what I think, it was a town in Grenada, Mississippi or something like that. Let me do one more clip where I hit the overdrive preamp into this Gov'nor. I'll turn the gain down on the Gov'nor a little bit. Oh man, I'm gonna tune with you. This segment's called Tuning with Josh. Okay? So pull out your guitars and just tune with me. Wow. Entire half step off. This is what happens when you drop a guitar on the floor. Everything's fine though. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So it stacks really great. I'm using this overdrive preamp as it was intended in the 70s, which is overdrive something or preamp something. It's a DoD 250 first era big box kind of replica. And so I'm hitting into this, and you can just think of it, whatever your favorite pedal is, you can add one more gain stage to the front, which is really nice. Okay. In the comments, I love, Blarn says, Josh, I'm already in tune. What do I do? You just hang out, man. And you just wish my guitar good tuning vibes. That's what you do. Good little crowd in here. Matt Reese says, just put it in drop C. Yeah, I could do that. I could drop C this. All right. Next up in the lineage of these pedals, is there anything about the Gov'nor that I want to say? Let me make sure. Let me cover this well. Gain, bass, middle, treble, level. This is really powerful here, and it's basically a Marshall amps tone stack. Think JCM 800, super versatile, has the effects loop in it. Early amp in a box. I think I covered it all. Let's jump to the Drivemaster. Also before that, let's look at these boxes. These are nice. They're different than the original boxes. I secretly just wish they had copied the original boxes, but you know, these look cool. All of this is assembled and packaged in England at their factory, by the way. So let's go down and let's do the Drivemaster. The Drivemaster, so what you have to realize is when we see this series of pedals, you know, when you're on the website here and you see the pedals all together, the Marshall Gov'nor looks different because it came out in 88, 89, and the other three go together. Well, the reason that is because they basically made the Gov'nor and then stopped making it in parallel to releasing a line of pedals. So the Gov'nor was a good experiment. It worked. This was thought of as the updated Gov'nor. So the thing here is it's updated. It has a little more gain on tap in the reissue, they state. The originals, I need to actually check this. I thought they were identical. And if you go watch that episode that I did, I actually had the prototypes. I got a hold of the protos of these. So it's a really fun episode to go watch. But let's hook this up. And here we go. Noises. I like that noise. This noise. Right? Anybody else like that? It's better than white noise to sleep by. Let's actually plug the jack in all the way. Look at that, how satisfying. So Drivemaster, I'll give just a second to this and then we'll move on. But it's a, call it updated Gov'nor. So here we go. So yeah, I do in this reissue I can tell it's the frequency spectrum feels a little different. It feels a little beefier, which could be a good or a bad thing depending. And kind of answering the question, I mean, the thumbnail itself said, you know, do these sound accurate? Are they accurate? And I shot them out back at the shop. They are. They're very accurate. The Drivemaster thing has me a little bumfuzzled because I thought it was an identical circuit to the Gov'nor. So just being transparent, last night I just jotted down some notes on my iPad for this. And I noticed in their copy, they're saying it's improved. So I actually need to go back to the drawing board on this just to see, is it improved? Is it not? Let's see how it does low gain. Yeah, it's doing a really great low gain. So I believe it is still the Gov'nor circuit, and they're probably added some extra clipping or something. This is all assumption and kind of news to me as of this morning. And when you watch the episode that I did, if you haven't watched it and you click the link, Josh will throw that in the description and comments as well. You'll see me being like, oh, they're the same. It sounds very good though. So lastly, we have the Shredmaster. Drivemaster, before I put it away, everything I've said is pretty much what I've said. That's deep. You could put that on a shirt. It's an updated Gov'nor apparently, and it's very versatile. So I believe for them to offer all four, if you're going to offer this pedal, and you're going to offer the Gov'nor, they have to be different. So I believe in the case of trying to figure out what happened there, or maybe I'm wrong historically in the last episode, maybe they were always a little different. I don't know. Next up is this one. So again, you know, you have this series of three, the series of three that came out after that original Gov'nor. So that original Gov'nor is 1988. And then in 91, they dropped the Bluesbreaker. And then kind of sequentially, I think within a year, you have the Shredmaster and Drivemaster. It's also worth noting there is a really solid episode I did on what is a Bluesbreaker. Josh can drop that in there as well. He's the link master today. But what is a Bluesbreaker is really fascinating. Because in a lot of ways, a Bluesbreaker pedal is technically a JTM 45 amp in a box, which means a Morning Glory is technically an amp in a box. A King of Tone is technically an amp in a box because we base these circuits off that topology. And you get into some funny things there where what is a Bluesbreaker? If you haven't seen that episode, go watch it. Let's plug up the Shredmaster, which is the heaviest of all. Heaviest of all. It's a good band name. Oh yeah, love that sound. Here we go. I like doing it this way, a little sloppy, just so you can see, like, you know, this is real life. When you watch the edited episodes, we don't, you know, we're good at what we do, and we're clean and quick with filming, but this is real life right here. You got to hook it up. You got to get it straight. You got to hear that noise on the cable. This noise. That just lets you know we're all human, right? Eric Aaron says, how much does it weigh? They are identical to the weight of the old ones, and they're pretty heavy. I mean, they're metal. They're metal pedals. So let's see here. We're gonna do tuning time one more time. Pull your guitar out. I tune because I care. I saw that in the comment. You know, this is what lives are about. There, that didn't take long. If you are a fan of Radiohead, this pedal became very prominent when Johnny Greenwood got a lot of his unique tones on OK Computer and different albums by plugging this into Solid State Fender Twin. So this pedal's really fascinating. Sonically, I place it in the Rat category. And I think it's the most unique of the pair. There's things that you can do with the Gov'nor that you can kind of do with the Bluesbreaker. The Gov'nor is a fantastic high gain Marshall sound. This is a high gain Marshall distortion. So I think of the Gov'nor as more of a drive pedal. This Shredmaster is a distortion. And I land it with the Rat sonically, which I think is important to note. Yeah, as many of you stated, it really nails the Radiohead sound. I have my telly with lace sensors here. Yes, I must. I must try it. I must try it. Hold on. I have my Johnny Greenwood guitar. It's probably out of tune. Yeah, I'm going to guess it's very out of tune. I made this to be like Johnny Greenwood. It's got the kill switch, the lace sensors. This little button kills the signal. How bad? Oh my God. I'm going to give away this overdrive preamp real quick. I have to do this because I love Radiohead and I love Johnny Greenwood. And I'm going to tune again. I think tuning time needs a stinger. What do you think? Let's tune together. Wow, that is so out of tune. This guitar's been setting for a while. There's a saying, the family that tunes together stays together. Wow, that is horrible. That is horrible. I just want to hear the lace sensors through the Shredmaster like Johnny Greenwood. And I think most of you do. And I know right now there's like 15 to 23 of you and you hate this. Like you freaking hate this. You want to shoot me. You want to throw me out of a window for doing this. But it has to be done. As a responsible guitarist, pedal maker, person who cares about tone. That's close enough, right? Let's plug in. If you're gonna play Radiohead, oh man, it's gonna be saucy. So close, hold on. Remember, the family that tunes together stays together, okay? So gather your family around. It's summer, kids are out of school. I'm giving away this $250, I promise. All right, here we go. All right, I got that out of my system. Shredmaster. I think if you're a radio fan, you just need to do it. You just need to buy a Shredmaster. Like I said, it's a better Rat, you could say. Let's give away this overdrive preamp. I was going to do a record time. Should I do a record? Yeah, I'm going to do a record time. Why not? Today's record time is brought to you by Helen Stellar, A Prayer to Myself. I think I've shown this, but I got back into listening to it on a trip I was just on. It's so stinking good. It's like pop shoegaze. The kids have another term. I don't know what the term is. I first heard this band on the soundtrack to Elizabethtown, which is a really cool movie. But there's a song called This Time Around. That's amazing. This is basically a 4-sided record. I believe this is on streaming services, but Helen Steller, A Prayer to Myself. Very, very good. Very good record. If you like kind of pop songwriting, but shoegazy ambient tones and such, you'll like that pedal. Or you'll like that record. Back to this pedal. Let's give this away. The first person in the comments to tell me the city where Marshall's factory is located, Joshua will catch you. The first person to put the answer, remember there's servers, and whoever puts it in first, you win this, and Joshua will tag you in the comments. So you'll get this overdrive preamp. We'll mail it out to you. Really great pedal. I appreciate you hanging out. This was fun. I've wanted to do this because I saw these come out. You know, every YouTuber and their mother does a video on stuff really quickly. I like to wait. I like to let it simmer. I'm the crock pot of YouTubers. Put it in the crock pot, let it settle. You know what I'm saying? Crock pot of YouTubers. That's another t-shirt. I have nothing more to offer you other than I hope you have a wonderful week. It's Monday. Let's get through today, and it'll be better as the week goes on until it gets worse on Thursday, because all you can do on Thursday is think about Friday. I have a bunch more of these basement things to do. I'm excited about the new Universal Audio pedals are sitting over here by me. I kind of want to do a dive on these. I have the Benson Stonk box I want to do. They're all on a shelf. I've got the Poly Flat 5. I have so much stuff to talk to you about. My delay tones today, I've been using the TC Electronics Plethora x3 for all my delays, and I like that. I have it just sitting here on the shelf. That's it. Who won? People are saying London. You're wrong. So Joshua has picked Daniel Togra to win. I have 4 minutes, so I'm actually going to answer some questions. It's time for Q&A. Tell me all your questions. All right, looking here. Toss me. I could probably do 2 questions if you're in the chat. Toss me something about these pedals, and I'll answer it here. Let's see here. Okay, Alex, how do you keep dust and stuff off your gear? Do you clean it a lot, or do you use an air purifier or something? That's a shockingly good question. It's different. In the film room museum, there are thousands of pedals. There's, 5,000 at least pedals in that room, or close to it in the room, and then we have more in storage in boxes. But in that room, we dust it every week. We vacuum. Dust happens. Dust happens. There's another shirt. In a room like this is like my basement shop. Directly in front of me, which you'll see eventually when I start this other live show I'm working on, I'm going to be building circuits. There's my workbenches right through the camera over there. It's a workbench. It is what it is. Over here, I have another area that's like photography stuff, but also there's pedals setting all over that now. And then there's like the live stream rig here that's to my left. Dust is on it. I just use this canned air. That's what I do. And I'm the worst about guitars. I will let a guitar just become its own organism, but I do change strings because it bothers me. The Panda says, can the Bluesbreaker take 18 volts charge pump to boost the headroom? Nah, it can't. It'd blow it up. And it's not you can just max the volume out, just max the volume out. Ironically, the prototype, when you go watch that episode, there's actually another episode that we talk about in that on our other channel. We have a called Hot Clip. What is it called? I don't remember. We have another channel called something Clips. It's funny, I can't remember. But I play the prototypes, and the prototype Bluesbreaker had a ton of volume. For some reason, they took it away in the production. Very strange. Let's see here. Good questions. Good questions. Blarn. Do you know anyone who can rehouse my Behringer Super Fuzz? I would contact Alchemy Audio. I send everyone to them. They're fantastic people. They modify pedals. They're really the best current people to modify anything you might have. So, Alchemy Audio. One more question, and we're going to get out of here. Did these pedals start with top-mounted jacks? Yeah, they originally had top-mounted jacks. How about that? It's amazing. I'm just going to keep going. I have one more minute. This is Jeroen Jope. I don't have any idea what your name is. I'm sorry. You said, is the Danelectro Daddio a Gov'nor? It is a Gov'nor circuit. It's a very good Gov'nor. A little bit of modification to it. Great pedal. The most important question I see about these pedals, and I'm going to close out. Skippy the Kangaroo, do you think aliens built the pyramids? I mean, definitely. Come on. Come on. They also built the first pedals. What a lot of people don't realize is that the transistor was invented in 1947. It's really close to the Roswell incident. Just saying. I'm joking, but maybe it's not a joke. I don't know. All right, I'm out of here. This is great. Check out these pedals. You have the Bluesbreaker. You have the Gov'nor with the effects loop that I went over earlier, which makes it kind of different and strange and weird and beautiful. You have the Drivemaster. And my favorite of these may be the Shredmaster because it's ratish. And then we gave this away. So, bye. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.